First off, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai, okay? Double honors to great millstone and the elders and apostles, and salutation to all the sincere brothers out there pushing the truth. As you can see, the topic here is Yahweh angels protect us. In these times that we're living in, we must understand that the devil knows he has but a short time, okay? AKA Esau also, as we understand, in the physical, okay? And we're going to have to deal with, a bunch of bug out Edomites and also bug out Jakes and bug out all other nations, okay? And it's going to be a time like never before, okay? And it's important for us to understand that the man of the Lord, okay, according to Yahweh, will be protected. And Yahweh uses his angels to protect us, okay? And so let's just look at an example of Yahweh and how he protects us, all right? And we can look at an example of what to expect from Edomites. Let's begin. It says here, trust in Yahweh with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. As long as we're doing the Most High's will, okay, teaching this truth, preaching the truth, and however we serve the Most High, okay, we all have our lot, all right, we all have our talents. But as long as we're doing his will, and we're keeping ourselves unspotted from the world to the best of our abilities through the name of Yahweh Bashim Shah, okay, we're going to lean on his wisdom, okay? We're going to acknowledge his ways, and he's going to deliver us when Esau come down with great wrath. It says angels of Yahweh. So let's look at how angels protect us, because we're going to need it, okay? When Esau come down, ain't no gun, ain't no hideout going to protect us. It's going to have to be the angels of Yahweh, okay, leading us to safety, leading us and delivering us, okay? It says here, there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. For he shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. So even the devil knows that Yahweh has his angels, okay, to protect the man of the Most High, okay? This is the same thing the devil spoke to and quoted when he was speaking to Yahweh trying to trip him up, So let's look at angels at work. It says here, and Daniel answered the priest. Okay, before I began reading, this is when David was running from Saul, okay, and he ran into the priest, okay. It says, and David answered the priest and said unto him, of a truth, women have been kept from us about 3 days since I came out, and the vessels of the young men are holy, and their beard is in a manner common, yea, though it were sanctified this day in the vessel. So the priest gave him hallowed bread, for there was no bread there but the show bread that was taken from before Yahweh, to put hot bread in the day when it was taken away. Now a certain man of the servants of Saul was there that day detained before Yahweh, and his name was Dog, an Edomite, the chief of the herdmen that belonged to Saul. So let's look at the key word right here, okay? It says detained before Yahweh, and his name was Dog the Edomite. Now let's look at the definition of detained, okay? This is from the Blue Letter Bible. To restrain, to retain, to close up, to shut, withhold, refrain, to stay detained, okay? And now let's look at other examples in the Bible so we can get a better, clear picture of what it's referring to. It says here, for Yahweh had fast detained, closed up, all the wombs of the house of Amalekech, because Sarah's Abraham's wife. Another example, and he stood between the dead and the living, and the plague was stayed. Detained, okay? That's when David went off and did the census. Again, it says, and Aaron returned unto Moses unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the plague was stayed. So we understand that detained is referring to hold back, okay? To stop. So when we read it, we can understand that now a certain man of the servants of Saul, there that day, detained before Yahweh. So it was something holding him back, because this Edomite had to be detained from the Most High, okay? This Edomite wanted to do something, right? And of course, he wanted to do something evil, because the Most High had to detain him. And the important thing to understand is this: Yahweh uses his angels to do his work, okay? So we can see it as an angel holding back this Edomite from doing what he had on his mind, okay? So let's begin. Let's continue. So now let's look at Esau and why the Most High was holding this Esau Edomite back. Esau deceitfulness. So now we're about to see Esau go ahead and snitch, okay, on David, that he's seen David, okay? It says here that all of you have conspired against me. This is Saul speaking to his brethren, okay, when he was looking for David. That all of you have conspired against me, and there is none that show me that my son has made a league with the son of Jesse. And there is none of you that is sorry for me, or showed unto me that my son has stirred up my servant against me to lie in wait as at this day. So Saul is complaining to all his brethren, his comrades, that they didn't snitch on his son, that his son had favor towards David, okay? That tells you a lot, that these brethren, these people, didn't have anything against David, okay? Nothing against him, but let's see who did. Then answered Dogged the Edomite, which was set over the servants of Saul, and said, I saw the son of Jesse coming to Nob, and to Emlachech, the son of Abtub. So we see this Edomite, out of all of Saul's servants, we got this Edomite snitching, okay? Now, let's look at Esau, a devil and a murderer. So we're about to see why Yahweh had to retain him, okay, with his angels. It says, and he inquired of Yahweh for him, and gave him victuals, and gave him the sword of Goliath, Philistine. So this is the Edomite, Dogged the Edomite, telling Saul what went down. But he's saying it in such a way that makes it seem as if this priest, knew the whole situation. The priest was just only trying to protect David, when the priest didn't know the whole situation, but he said it in a like manner. Then the king sent to call Emlachech, the priest, the son of Etub, and all his father's house, the priests that were in Nob, and they came all of them to the king. So we have all the priests now being requested to go to Saul, okay, because the Edomite snitched. And Saul said, hear now, thou son of Abitub. And he answered, here I am, my lord. So this is the priest when Saul confronted him. And Saul said unto him, why have ye conspired against me? Thou and thy son Jesse, in that thou hast given him bread and a sword, and hast inquired of Yahweh for him, that he should rise against me and to lie in wait as at this day. I'm going to skip to 16. And the king said, thou shalt surely die, thou and thy father's house. So now Saul spoke to the dude. Saul didn't care what his excuse was, okay? And Saul now wants to kill this priest, okay? And this is what happened. And the king Saul said unto the footmen that stood about him, turn and slay the priests of Yahweh, because their hand also is with David, and because they knew when he fled and did not show it to me. But the servants of the king would not put forth their hand to fall upon the priests of Yahweh. So this priest didn't know David was fleeing for his life at that time, okay? But this Edomite, he stirred up a story in such a way to make these priests look like they was against Saul, okay? Edomites are wicked, man. They're deceitful, okay? And the king said to Dog, so none of Saul's brethren wanted to fall on the priest. So guess who did? And the king said to Dog, turn thou and fall upon the priest. And Dog the Edomite turned, and he fell upon the priest, and slew on that day 75 that did wear a linen ephod. And 75 is 85 people, okay? And no, the city of the priest smote he with the edge of the sword, both man, woman, children, and suckling, and an ox, and an asses, and sheep with the edge of the sword. So this is what Yahweh angels had to do. They had to detain this Edomite, okay? Because this Edomite had nothing but vengeance and blood and wickedness in his heart, okay? As you can see, the men who worked for Saul, they refused to kill the priest. But there was one person, which was this wicked Edomite. And that's when I say, when the devil comes down with great wrath, these Edomites going to come down with great wrath, okay? There's going to be all other nations of people coming down with great wrath, okay? But these Edomites are definitely coming because they're the seed of the devil. And one of the sons of Emelech, the son of Abtub, named Abiathar, escaped and fled after David. Now, as we know, this man did not escape, okay? Yahweh allowed him to escape, okay? An angel allowed him to escape, okay? Because we know Yahweh was in charge of life or death, right? And Abiathar showed David that Saul had slain Yahweh's priest. And David said unto Abiathar, I knew it that day when Doggett the Edomite was there, that he would surely tell, I have occasioned the death of all the persons of thy father's house. So scripture says we must be as wise as serpents and gentle as a dove. Okay, David was wise, and David knew that this Edomite was wicked. Okay, he knew this Edomite was going to snitch. Okay, all those other captains and guards of Saul didn't snitch. Okay, they didn't want to kill the priest. Okay, they didn't have no beef with David. Okay, they didn't see no fault in David, right? But David for a fact knew that this Edomite was going to snitch. Doggett the Edomite reward. So just to recap, okay, we see that a man who stays on the straight path in Yahweh's will, okay, and tries to keep himself unspotted from the world in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, right? And not leaning on their own understanding, but submitting to Yahweh's will, doing the work and laboring and sincerity and truth, okay? Those men will have angels over them, okay? And they will guide them, all right? They will protect them, okay? That Edomite had to be detained, okay, from trying to do something wicked against David, okay? So let's look at Doggett the Edomite reward, okay? It says here, fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy power. I will strengthen thee. Yea, I will help thee. Yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness.
The Book of Psalms, Psalm 52. To the chief musician Maskil, a psalm of David, when Doeg the Edomite came and told Saul, and said unto him, David is come to the house of Ahimelech. Why boastest thou thyself in mischief, O mighty man? The goodness of God endureth continually. Thy tongue deviseth mischiefs, like a sharp razor working deceitfully. Thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather than to speak righteousness. Selah. Thou lovest all devouring words, O thou deceitful tongue. God shall likewise destroy thee forever. He shall take thee away, and pluck thee out of thy dwelling place, and root thee out of the land of the living. Selah. The righteous also shall see and fear, and shall laugh at him. Lo, this is the man that made not God his strength, but trusted in the abundance of his riches, and strengthened himself in his wickedness. But I am like a green olive tree in the house of God. I trust in the mercy of God forever and ever. I will praise thee forever, because thou hast done it, and I will wait on thy name, for it is good before thy saints.
So as we can see, even David called out this Edomite in one of his psalms, dog, because he understands that these Edomites are wicked, a deceitful tongue. They seek evil, they seek death, okay? And he knows that these devils are always trying to come down with wrath, but he knows in the end they will be destroyed, okay?
The Book of Psalm.
Now, let's look at Edomites as a whole. Let's look at their reward, okay? Because they're going to come down with great wrath, okay? But it says here, therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat or what ye shall drink, nor yet for your body, what ye shall put on. Is not the life more than meat, and the body more than raiment? So when these Edomites come down with great wrath, we might not have those basic necessities at our hand, okay? But as long as we're in that path with Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, he's going to provide those needs for us, okay? We might not be able to go in the refrigerator. We might not be able to go in our closet. We might be somewhere else. But Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, according to his love and his mercy, and sending his angels to protect us, we will be provided for. Okay. And this is a shout out to all these Edomites. Okay.
Chapter 20. Then answered Zophar the Naamathite and said, Therefore do my thoughts cause me to answer, and for this I make haste. I have heard the check of my reproach, and the spirit of my understanding causeth me to answer. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment? Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, Where is he? He shall fly away as a dream, and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. The eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him. His children shall seek to please the poor, and his hands shall restore their goods. His bones are full of the sin of his youth, which shall lie down with him in the dust. Though wickedness be sweet in his mouth, though he hide it under his tongue, though he spare it and forsake it not, but keep it still within his mouth, yet his meat in his bowels is turned. It is the gall of asps within him. He hath swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. God shall cast them out of his belly. He shall suck the poison of asps. The viper's tongue shall slay him. He shall not see the rivers, the floods, the brooks of honey and butter. That which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be, and he shall not rejoice therein. Because he hath oppressed, and hath forsaken the poor, because he hath violently taken away an house which he builded not, surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he desired. There shall none of his meat be left. Therefore shall no man look for his goods. In the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, God shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. It is drawn, and cometh out of the body. Yea, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall. Terrors are upon him. All darkness shall be hid in his secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him. It shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. The heavens shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. The increase of his house shall depart, and his goods shall flow away in the day of his wrath. This is the portion of a wicked man from God, and the heritage appointed unto him by God.
So, hey, that's a dedication right there to Esau, okay? The chief house, Amalek, and all those Edomites, okay? Yeah, they scheme, okay? They have their riches, they have their power right now, but it's all going to be taken from them in a moment, okay? And, hey, until that time, we got to remember, all right? We don't worry about what Esau, these Edomites are planning. We're not worrying about that the moment when he's going to come down with that great wrath. We're worrying about making sure we're in the line, the straight path of Yahweh and his will, and not leaning on our understanding, okay? That's what we need to be focusing on now. We know it's coming, but let's make sure we're focusing on today, okay? And not worrying about tomorrow, okay? It says here, therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat, or what ye shall drink, nor yet for your body, what ye shall put on. Is not the life more than meat, and the body than raiment? Okay? There's no need to worry, man. You know, we know these Edomites coming down with great wrath. All right? But we got Yahweh, Bashim Shah, and we got his angels to protect us and detain these wicked people when they want to jump on us, okay? When we go out and camp, you know, Yahweh Bashim Shah got his angels around us. When 2 or 3 are gathered in his name, the Most High is there with us. Yeah, all right?
The Book of Psalms, Psalm 18. To the chief musician, a psalm of David, the servant of the Lord, who spake unto the Lord the words of this song in the day that the Lord delivered him from the hand of all his enemies, and from the hand of Saul. And he said, I will love thee, O Lord, my strength. The Lord is my rock, and my fortress, and my deliverer. My God, my strength, in whom I will trust, my buckler, and the horn of my salvation, and my high tower. I will call upon the Lord, who is worthy to be praised. So shall I be saved from mine enemies. The sorrows of death compassed me, and the floods of ungodly men made me afraid. The sorrows of hell compassed me about. The snares of death prevented me. In my distress I called upon the Lord, and cried unto my God. He heard my voice out of his temple, and my cry came before him, even into his ears. Then the earth shook and trembled. The foundations also of the hills moved and were shaken, because he was wroth. There went up a smoke out of his nostrils, and fire out of his mouth devoured. Coals were kindled by it. He bowed the heavens also, and came down, and darkness was under his feet. And he rode upon a cherub, and did fly. Yea, he did fly upon the wings of the wind. He made darkness his secret place. His pavilion round about him were dark waters, and thick clouds of the skies. At the brightness that was before him, his thick clouds passed, hailstones and coals of fire. The Lord also thundered in the heavens, and the highest gave his voice, hailstones and coals of fire. Yea, he sent out his arrows and scattered them, and he shot out lightnings and discomfited them. Then the channels of waters were seen, and the foundations of the world were discovered at thy rebuke, O Lord, at the blast of the breath of thy nostrils. He sent from above. He took me. He drew me out of many waters. He delivered me from my strong enemy, and from them which hated me, for they were too strong for me. They prevented me in the day of my calamity, but the Lord was my stay. He brought me forth also into a large place. He delivered me, because he delighted in me. The Lord rewarded me according to my righteousness. According to the cleanness of my hands hath he recompensed me. For I have kept the ways of the Lord, and have not wickedly departed from my God. For all his judgments were before me, and I did not put away his statutes from me. I was also upright before him, and I kept myself from mine iniquity. Therefore hath the Lord recompensed me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands in his eyesight. With the merciful thou wilt show thyself merciful. With an upright man thou wilt show thyself upright. With the pure thou wilt show thyself pure, and with the froward thou wilt show thyself froward. For thou wilt save the afflicted people, but wilt bring down high looks. For thou wilt light my candle. The Lord my God will enlighten my darkness. For by thee I have run through a troop, and by my God have I leaped over a wall. As for God, his way is perfect. The word of the Lord is tried. He is a buckler to all those that trust in him. For who is God save the Lord? Or who is a rock save our God? It is God that girdeth me with strength, and maketh my way perfect. He maketh my feet like hinds' feet, and setteth me upon my high places. He teacheth my hands to war, so that a bow of steel is broken by mine arms. Thou hast also given me the shield of thy salvation, and thy right hand hath holden me up, and thy gentleness hath made me great. Thou hast enlarged my steps under me, that my feet did not slip. I have pursued mine enemies, and overtaken them. Neither did I turn again till they were consumed. I have wounded them, that they were not able to rise. They are fallen under my feet. For thou hast girded me with strength unto the battle. Thou hast subdued under me those that rose up against me. Thou hast also given me the necks of mine enemies, that I might destroy them that hate me. They cried, but there was none to save them, even unto the Lord, but he answered them not. Then did I beat them small as the dust before the wind. I did cast them out as the dirt in the streets. Thou hast delivered me from the strivings of the people, and thou hast made me the head of the heathen. A people whom I have not known shall serve me. As soon as they hear of me, they shall obey me. The strangers shall submit themselves unto me. The strangers shall fade away and be afraid out of their close places. The Lord liveth, and blessed be my rock, and let the God of my salvation be exalted. It is God that avengeth me, and subdueth the people under me. He delivereth me from mine enemies. Yea, thou liftest me up above those that rise up against me. Thou hast delivered me from the violent man. Therefore will I give thanks unto thee, O Lord, among the heathen, and sing praises unto thy name. Great deliverance giveth he to his king, and showeth mercy to his anointed, to David, and to his seed forevermore.
All right. So, with that being
The
said,
Book of Psalms.
this is the end. And just remember, man, we might have to flee for a moment. And in that fleeing, we're going to have angels of Yahweh Shema shall protecting us, okay? Eventually, you know, everything will turn, okay? Scripture says that we are going to become hunters of men, okay? And Yahweh's legion, okay? So, until then, shalom.